Oh, now that's an intro. All right, guys, welcome back to the Bridgeside. It's been a minute, I know, and I want to hold my hands up and apologise for not getting more videos out recently. And to be honest, I've just found that the news has been a bit slow. But I promise you, as soon as things start happening, I'll be right here to break it all down. And it looks like things are finally happening. Because while the rest of the football world is losing its mind in the usual transfer window chaos, i.e. Liverpool just spending way more than I think anyone ever has in one actual window, we have a golden opportunity to sign one of the best of Europe's most electrifying talents. And in this market, a genuine bargain. And I'm talking, of course, Xavi Simons. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why Chelsea have to literally make this happen and why he's the perfect player for Enzo Maresca's new project. All right, how we can beat our rivals to one of the smartest deals of the summer. You know, the interest is real, the talks are reportedly happening, and the player himself seems keen. So let's get into it. Okay, let's be brutally honest, shall we? How many times last season did you watch us pass it sideways and backwards and sideways again, around the edge of the box? How many games did we look completely stumped against a low block, just waiting for, Cole Palmer to do something ridiculous and bail us out? It was a season of progress, sure, but it was also so painfully frustrating. Our attack felt predictable. Knock out wide, hope for a decent cross, try to thread a needle through the middle of, something that was not actually happening. There was a disconnect, a real lack of that clever movement in the final third. We've got players who can run, players who can finish, but we're crying out for that central creative force, that little sparks of genius who can live between the lines, link that whole thing together. We saw it in flashes of Christopher and Nkunku, but the injuries have just been absolutely cruel. We saw the weight of the world put on Palmer's shoulders, and while the lad was nothing short of actually spectacular, you can't build a title charge on one man's back. We need more. We need another weapon. We need someone with the technical skill, the vision, and I believe Xavi Simons is the answer. If you've somehow missed the hype, Xavi Simons is the 22-year-old Dutch international who just lit up the Bundesliga. He's a graduate of Barcelona's famous La Masia Academy and has been schooled at PSG, all right? So he has an elite footballing pedigree. This isn't some unproven kid. This is a player who I believe would do really, really well in the Premier League. Now, let's clear something up. Simons was at RB Leipzig, having made his move permanent there from PSG in January. He's been phenomenal, banging in 8 goals and setting up another 13 in the Bundesliga alone last season. He's reportedly decided he wants a new challenge, which is why this is the moment that we have to bag him, because I don't think we can get him any cheaper than now. But I think he's more than just numbers, right? This guy's a pocket rocket on the pitch. That's a bit of a weird analogy to use, but fair enough. He has a wonderful low centre of gravity, incredible close control. He's exactly the profile I think we've been missing. A creative machine who can play as a number 10, drift wide, or even drop deeper. That versatility is a weapon in itself, and more importantly, he's got a winner's mentality. He wants to be on the biggest stage, competing for the biggest trophies, and let's be honest, with Chelsea back in Europe, and, let's not forget, freshly crowned club World Cup champions, Stamford Bridge is looking like I'd say a pretty attractive place to be right now. You got the ever-reliable Fabrizio Romano reported that Chelsea have held direct talks with Simons' team and that the player is interested in joining Maresca's project. This has gone past that whole, rumoured chatter. This is now a real, tangible opportunity. Why is he the perfect fit for the way Enzo Maresca wants to play? And this, I think, is simple. Maresca's football is all about dominating the ball and using intelligent players to pull teams apart. He wants attackers who are comfortable in tight spaces, who can receive the ball on the half turn and who have the vision to make things happen instantly. So now, close your eyes and picture it, okay? Imagine 2 advanced playmakers buzzing around in those pockets of space between the opposition's midfield and defence. Now, their only job is to get the ball, run at people and link up the attack. Now imagine one of those players is Cole Palmer, and who's the other? Xavi Simons. A Palmer-Simons duo operating just behind the striker is, quite frankly, I think a terrifying thought for the rest of the Premier League. Both are masters at finding space, and it's something that I think would just overpower any defence. Simons, I think, is at his best in these modern possession-based systems that are designed to, exploit. He doesn't stand still. He roams, he rotates, he drags defenders with him and makes space for everyone else. His stats back it up, ranking in the top percentiles for shot-creating actions and expected assists. And he's not a luxury player either. Maresca demands a relentless press from his attackers. And Simons has the engine and the intelligence to do it. He is tailor-made for the way Enzo plays, as Chelsea play football. So let's talk about the best word in football. Bargain. In a market where bang average midfielders are going for 50 million and strikers who have had one good season costing like an absolute bloody fortune, the reported fee for Simons is, I think, generally baffling. I mean, multiple reports suggest RB Leipzig are looking for something under 70 million euros, which works out to be, 60 million pounds. Let's put that into context, all right? This is for a 22-year-old who is already one of the best attacking midfielders in Europe, with his best years way ahead of him. For a player of his talent and potential, £60 million, I don't think is just even a fair price. I think this is an absolute steal. And just imagine, he's not going to be on the biggest of wages. Bundesliga players don't tend to have massive wages, and I actually don't know what his wages are. Right, so he's on about £99,000 a week. So he's on €130,000. So let's say they offer him £120,000. Hey, it's an increase in wages. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind the lifestyle living in London either. And of course, Chelsea have the reputation for splashing the cash. But this is a chance to make an incredibly good investment. I mean, we'd be getting a world-class talent for a price our rivals would happily play for a squad, just a squad player. This is a certified no-brainer to me. It's the kind of clever, decisive business that really gives us that chance to win titles and trophies. But right, if you're still with me and you're already picturing this Simons and Palmer tearing it up together at the bridge, do me a solid, smash that like button, and if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button for more Chelsea analysis and transfer news. But a player this good for that price is going to have admirers. That's obvious. Arsenal and Bayern Munich have definitely been sniffing around. But reports suggest Bayern have cooled their interest, viewing him as more of a plan B. It also seems Simons himself would prefer a move to the Premier League. Well, it might be an overstatement to say we're the only club in for him. All the signs point to Chelsea being at the front of the queue, pushing the hardest. And let's be honest, as fans, there is literally nothing sweeter than just beating one of your rivals for a top target. And it would be a massive statement, I think, proving that the project of Stamford Bridge is the most exciting one for Europe's next wave of superstars. And let's be honest, even if he didn't work out, we could just charge him from absolute bomb and Arsenal will just pay for him anyway. Seeming as they'll just take every one of our, what would you even call it? Just, I don't know, bench warmers? I think bench warmers is fair, right? Look, it all just makes too much sense. We have a clear tactical weakness, a lack of elite, consistent creativity. I think Xavi Simons is the perfect solution, a young, hungry and proven talent who fits the way Enzo Maresca wants to play. I think the stats are elite. I think his style is exactly what we're missing. I think his ambition matches ours. I think the deal is a financial bargain in today's market, and especially for what Chelsea and how they like to do business. And I think we have a real chance to beat our rivals to his signature. And obviously, especially with the fact that we've just won 2 trophies in the season. Arsenal, you can't even win 1. So let's just... And that we're probably the most successful Premier League team in the 21st century. But hey, if that's not attractive enough, according to the tie-off of Arsenal TV, but we've not got the gold trophy, the unbeatables. Shut up. I don't think this is just a nice to have sign-in. I think this is a genuinely a necessary one. I think this is a move that really will take our attack to a new level. And I think it will give the creative partnership that I think Cole Palmer has really been hoping for. Don't get me wrong, I think I see that in João Pedro, and I think João Pedro really offers that. But I think if we have him on the leading line, and you have to remember, guys, we're still waiting to see the likes of Gittins, Esteval joining in. Oh, I'm so excited. But I think getting Xavi Simons as well, I think this is a statement from the club that we're not just building for tomorrow. I think we are genuinely building for right now. The board needs to be clinical, and if we get this over the line, I'm actually so excited. I'm so excited. So, guys, what do you think? Is Simons the final piece of the puzzle? Could he and Palmer be the best attacking midfield partnership in the league going into next season? Get in the comments and let me know your thoughts. And as always, give the video a like and subscribe more, because for some reason, YouTube doesn't want to push my videos out anymore. So, saying that, I will be back as soon as I see anything concrete and worth making a video on. I don't just want to make videos for the sake of it. I think that's just shocking. All right. So without further ado, I will catch you in the next one, hopefully sooner than later. And come on, you Blues. Peace.